Greetings, my name is Non-Dual Victor, and in this video I will be talking about whether you are everything or nothing. Now, I know you hear some background noise. It's cold weather. I got my heat on. Got the heat on. It's cold weather. Y'all already know that. It's cold weather. So are you everything or are you nothing? So I'm going to dive into that topic. So first off, I took notes. There has to be a blank space in order for existence to fill up. For example, if you are about to draw on a board or a piece of paper, it has to be empty in order to fill up. So we know that existence started with nothing. We know that life, creation as we know it, was originally nothing. So there can't be a separate self because it will be a part of that larger field of consciousness, of universal awareness. For example, in order for a cell to split and become two, it had to be one originally. It had to be one cell originally. Everything starts with one. That means that everything starts with itself. So even if it's nothing, that would still be a self. Now when we talk about nothing, we're not talking about non-existence. We already gathered that there's no such thing as non-existence, because if there was, it wouldn't have had the ability to create. So what it's been called, that's the Big Bang, is actually birth. The birth of creation in a way. But there was already creation. You see, creation gave birth to itself. So that which is prior to the Big Bang is itself. Existence without a form. So the Big Bang was existence taking on a form. So this is why energy cannot be created or destroyed, because existence gives birth to itself. It creates its own form. So existence is originally formless, and then it begins to take on a form. That is what the Big Bang was. That is what the start of creation was. The Big Bang. That is what the Big Bang was, when formless awareness took on a form. So awareness with form. But it is still formless awareness. It is still eternal. So that's the first point I would like to dive into. That there has to be a blank slate. There has to be a blank space in order for creation to happen. So this is how we know that we are nothing and everything. We're both simultaneously. We're nothing, but we have the freedom to take on a form as awareness. Now, there cannot be one without the other. So, if you are a separate self, you would have had to be reliant on a larger aspect of existence. And all existence is the same. For example, a cloud can appear as a vapor, ice, and I believe it can dissolve even further. It is part of the whole entire atmosphere. And it is existence. And we're connected to that in a way. Without the air, we can't breathe. We can't do anything without the larger field of existence. That means that there's no separation between existence. You're not apart from existence. Because if you were separate from existence, the air wouldn't work for you. You would breathe it in and you would suffocate. So we know that this body is a technology that is connected to the air. We know that it is existence, and that existence is all one. There's no separate existence. It's all a manifestation of the one existence. We know this because we have a connection to it. It works for us. It's not working against us. There is only what is and what isn't. Now, there is no proof of non-existence at all. Nobody has ever proved that non-existence is real. In history, has anybody ever proved that there's non-existence? Now, in order for existence to appear separate, it would have to be a part of a larger existence. That means it's not separate at all. Therefore, it's not separate. To appear separate, you would have to come from yourself. You will have to come from existence to appear separate. But it doesn't in fact make you separate. For example, if I start to bleed right now and my blood becomes a part of the grass or the ground, it was still originally a part of me. Therefore, it's not separate. Yes, it appears to be separate, but it was still a part of me. It is still one with me. Existence works in the exact same way. Things appear separate, but it is still a part of the universal consciousness. It's still a part of the universal field. It's okay to appear separate, but you still belong to the larger field of awareness. You still belong to the larger field of consciousness. So you never, in fact, become separate. You always been universal consciousness. Nothing has ever become separate in existence. It remains itself. So what is being called as creation or birth is existence separating from itself. It doesn't even separate from itself. It appears to separate from itself. So it's just an appearance. So when you meditate, you should meditate on whether there's a separate self or not. Because if there's no separate self, then that would mean that you are eternal. The subtler you go, the more everything you become. So when we ask whether you're everything or you're nothing, it is both simultaneously and beyond. The self has no limitations to it because it can take on any form, because it is not any form to begin with. It is formless awareness, therefore making it infinite. So that is all I want to say on whether you're everything or nothing. It is both and beyond. Actually, there's no such thing as nothing, because if you think about nothing and you think about non-existence, that is something. That's a form. It has a shape to it. Non-existence. To not be anything. And to be something has a form to it as well. So in order to be truly formless, you will have to go beyond the concept of nothing. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I want to say on the topic of whether you're everything or nothing. And yes, peace out and have a beautiful day.